Have you ever asked your phone or smart speaker a question and wondered, how in the world did it find that exact answer? Well, it's definitely not magic. It's voice SEO. And today, we're going to decode exactly how it works and, more importantly, how you can make sure it's your website that gets heard in this brand new world of search. So let's dive in. It all starts with something so simple, something we do a dozen times a day. We ask our phones for directions while we're driving, we ask our speakers for a recipe when our hands are full. But have you ever stopped to think about what happens behind the scenes? How does one answer out of millions get chosen to be the answer? So here's the deal. Voice SEO, at its heart, is all about optimizing your stuff online. It's the art and the science of setting up your content so that when somebody asks a question out loud, an assistant like Siri or Alexa can find your page, understand it, and read your answer back. It's literally about becoming the voice of authority on a topic. To really get voice SEO, we've got to talk about this huge shift in how we look for things. We've gone from typing these short, choppy commands into a search bar to basically having full-on conversations with our devices. And just look at the difference here. A text search is like writing a quick memo, right? Short, to the point, just keywords. Think best SEO tools. But voice search? That's a whole conversation. We ask real, natural questions. We don't say best SEO tools. We ask, what are the best SEO tools to use for beginners? It's way more specific, it's longer, and frankly, it's just more human. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but is this really that big of a deal? Well, let me put it this way. Ignoring voice search today is kind of like opening up a shop but not putting a sign out front. You're basically making yourself invisible to this massive and rapidly growing group of people. So yeah, this is crucial. Voice SEO isn't just some passing trend. It's a huge opportunity. It's growing like crazy. It gives you a much better shot at landing in those super valuable featured snippets at the top of Google, and it's an absolute game changer for local businesses. You know what the best part is? When you optimize for voice, you're forced to make your content clearer and more helpful. And that's a win for everybody who visits your site. And don't just picture someone talking to a speaker in their living room. Look at this breakdown. It's happening everywhere. While we think about smart speakers, a huge chunk of voice searches, almost half, happen right on our smartphones. It's just woven into the fabric of our daily lives, especially when we're on the go. All right, so how do we actually do this? The very first principle is so simple, but you'd be surprised how many people miss it. You have to think and you have to write like a human being. This quote really nails it. You have to forget all about those robotic, keyword-stuffed sentences from the old days of SEO. The goal here is to create content that just flows, like you're explaining something to a friend over coffee. And this is a perfect example. The old way was to target a keyword like coffee recipe. The new way, the voice search way, is to target that entire question. How can I make iced coffee at home easily? Your content needs to be the best possible answer to that very specific conversational question. You want a really powerful trick? Build your content around these 6 basic questions. Search engines are basically just giant question and answer machines. So if you structure your content to directly answer who, what, when, where, why, and how, you're making it unbelievably easy for them to go, aha, this page has the solution. You're already halfway to the finish line. Okay, principle number 2. It's not enough to just write like a human. You have to make sure the search engines see your content as the single best, most authoritative answer out there. This is all about the technical side of things, optimizing to win. The holy grail of voice SEO is what we call position 0. You know it. It's that little box that shows up at the very top of the Google results page, the featured snippet. That snippet is almost always the exact text that a voice assistant reads aloud. Your one and only goal is to own that spot. So how do you do it? It really boils down to 3 key things. First, answer the main question right away, in a short, clear paragraph at the top of your page. Second, use lists, bullet points, numbered lists. They're super easy for search engines to digest. And third, you use a little something called schema to literally tell Google, hey, over here, this page is formatted as a Q&A. Now, schema sounds super technical, I know, but all it really is a way of labeling your content so Google gets it instantly. Think of it like giving the search engine a cheat sheet. You can label your page as an FAQ, a how-to guide, a local business with hours and a location, or even a recipe. It just removes all the guesswork for them. And finally, let's be real. None of this amazing content matters if your website's foundation is shaky. These 3 things you see here, they're totally non-negotiable. Voice assistants are all about speed and convenience, so they're gonna pick results from sites that are fast, that look great on a phone, and that are secure. If your site takes forever to load on mobile, your chances of being chosen, they just plummet. Okay, I know that was a lot to take in, so let's pull it all together into one simple, actionable checklist you can start using right away. Here it is, your action plan. Start thinking in full conversational questions, not just keywords. Build out an FAQ page that answers what your customers are really asking. Add that schema markup we talked about. Please, make sure your site is fast and works perfectly on a phone. If you're a local business, your online listings have to be spotless. And remember that golden rule. Answer the question directly, right at the top, in about 40 to 50 words. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final question to really think about. The next time a customer asks their phone a question that you have the answer to, will it be your voice they hear? Is your website ready to speak?